Yo, what's up? It's Yanni back with a crazy haul. This might be this. I was thinking about this before I set this video up. This might be my best haul ever in terms of just great books, great prices, all in one spot, one-stop shopping. First up, I got some books from a convention somewhat close to me, a couple hours away. But I try and go to it when they have it annually, biannually, I think. This was one guy selling books for $1. From his own personal collection, was able to find some good stuff. Alright, starting off with that new Avengers Wolverine Venom variant. Or, I'm sorry, not even the variant. The Lionel Yu regular cover. $1. Picked up some Amazing Spider-Man. Some of the harder to find. These ones aren't the hardest to find. I got 15 through 18. Really, the ones in the 20s are the harder ones to find, but those were $1 as well. These were like produced right after like the big market crash, so they hold a little bit of value because they're Amazing Spider-Man. They were lower print runs compared to modern Spider-Man books, so definitely pick those up when I find them. And of course, had to get these. Got the 51 and 52 J. Scott Campbell covers. A couple more books from him. Actually, this was the other book I got. Stan Lee Meets the Amazing Spider-Man #1. This book, a little while back, maybe, I don't know, a year or two ago, it was selling for about $20. Not sure what it's selling for now. It's definitely one I would pick up because of the iconic cover, and with Stan Lee's health the way it is. I mean, he's the guy that's known for Spider-Man, so it's just a cool cover to have. Here's a couple. I'm gonna hit you with the heat, some of the heat right out of the gate. I had this one thrown in. Asked him to throw this new dealer, different dealer, asked him to throw this one in for free. He had it in his dollar box. If you don't know, this is G.I. Joe #12 from Image. Has an Invincible preview in it. As we know, Invincible has been optioned for a movie. This book has not seen much movement at all. Not quite sure why. It seems like the ones that have seen the movement are Savage Dragon 102, Noble Causes, Family Matters, I think it's called, #13. The variant has really taken off. But I believe this one came out before even Savage Dragon. Not positive on that. I don't know exactly when this one came out, but there's about 5 books that have the preview in it, but some of them came out different months than the others. So I had him throw that one in. Also picked up, here's how I had him throw them in. I picked up this Green Lantern #7, first Sinestro. Paid $50 for it. It's probably about what it's worth. Maybe it might even be worth less. The cover is not attached, but everything's there except for there's a coupon cut out of it. So, I mean, it's just not a book that you see very often. At least I don't. I figured for that. But here's really why I got it, and I'm happy to add this to my collection. Got an Iron Man #1. Paid $200 for that, so paid $250 for the lot. But, you know, I've been fortunate enough to be able to afford some more pricey books in doing this. One thing I thought about like before I did this video was the value of the books I got, but for how long I've been doing this, I've been buying a couple, sell one, put one in the personal, buy 5, sell a couple, put a couple in the personal. So I've slowly gotten to this point where I've been building my collection through just the knowledge of comic books, being able to dig, and I'm still digging into dollar boxes, but you know, I'm trying to build stuff that I like as well. I mean, I think it's a great thing about this hobby is if you put a little time in, it pays itself back. I mean, it's fun, but it can be work. All right, next up, I got a couple things from this one dealer. Infinity Free Comic Book Day. I think I mentioned this last video, but I actually bought this one this time. And the reason why I bought it, well, I would have bought it no matter what, but I paid $2 for it, which is kind of a lot considering it's a free comic book. But first Corvus Glaive, who is now, I believe, totally confirmed for the next Avengers movie that they're shooting. I also picked up a New Mutants number 14 Finch variant. These Finch variants have picked up a little bit. Obviously, David Finch is a great artist. The ones that I've really picked up are the Uncanny X-Men ones. He did a bunch all at the same time. This one is pretty cool because it's Legion on the cover. So paid $10 for that. It's a $10 to $20 book depending on the day. But what I really wanted from this dealer was this guy. Kind of looking it over real tight right now. Looks like there's one spine tick. Heathcliff, number 12. We know about that. We know about that book. Paid $10. Came with some other books. You just had like all these weird bundles of books. You know, one thing I've learned over the past couple of years is you see those dealers that have sets of bundled books. It's worth it to go through them because even though I'm not typically looking for a whole storyline to read, and that's why they're selling them like that, you know, every once in a while I'll find like a nice little chunk of books. I actually got another one coming up that I'll share with you near the end. But this one, paid $12 for the bundle. So this book is, for whatever reason, these 75th anniversary, I believe these are the picture frame variants. This is one of the harder ones to find, along with the Muppet Babies one. And there's people that just want all of them because they're cool covers. So this one's hard to find, especially in real high grade, because who wants a Heathcliff comic book in this day and age? I guess I should say. Back in the day, Heathcliff was a shit. He didn't have nothing on Garfield. This was all I got from one dealer. I picked up the Batgirl New 52 1 through 5 for $20. Had it at 50% off. Wow, you know what's interesting about this? Okay, so picked this up obviously because of the Batgirl movie that Joss Whedon is being a part of. I just noticed this. These are all Adam Hughes covers, okay? But he only does the covers. The interior artist is Ardian CF. Isn't that the guy that that had the controversial artwork in the Marvel X-Men comic? I believe that's who that is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just noticed that when I just put him up there. I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure that's the guy, but might not be. Different dealer. Got a Vision number. These were like $1. These were $2 each. Vision number 1. Superman, Lois and Clark number 1. And that was all I got. Just those two from that dealer. What else we got? Alright, I'll hit you with the other bombshell. This is the end of what I got at this show. So, I mean, I got a decent amount of books, but I didn't go super crazy. I told you a couple videos ago I've been trying to pare down my collection in terms of how much stuff I'm buying. But I had to get, so I'm not buying as many of the dollar books. Not as many. I'm still buying them. But I did pick up an Invincible number 1. And this is a book that I was fortunate enough to get at a good price a few years back. And when the movie news got announced, the book went through the roof. So I put mine up on eBay and I sold it. I'll be perfectly honest. And I got a ridiculous price for it, way more than it should have gone for. Ended up seeing this one, a couple days later and bought it for way less. I think I ended up paying like 200 for that one, which is about what it was going for before the movie. And I also got this thrown in for another 50, which I'm probably most excited about in terms of really tough book to find in this grade, especially. Uncanny X-Men number 307. This is the Pressman variant. I was talking to the dealer about this, and we were talking about the different Pressmans, and this one is always commands the premium of all the Pressmans. And he was saying, yeah, I think you had to send away for one of them. I'm assuming it's this one, because this one is super hard to find and like near mint grade. This book is really nice. I really don't really care about the book, except that it's just, super hard to find. And it's one of those things, like, you're not going to find a book like this very often. So, super happy to have that one in the collection. Like I said, crazy good time at the convention. Got some good stuff at good prices, I think. All right, up next, with the Invincible movie, I saw this book out online on eBay. I paid $15 for it. I've owned one before. This is the first appearance of Orissa. I'm not sure. I don't know the Invincible story. I haven't read it. The being at 100 issues is a little bit daunting to say you're going to take that on. I did it with Walking Dead, which was a pretty easy read. But could this be a character in the movie if they start to move this thing forward? I would assume so, because she's kind of a known big bad in the storyline. So keep your eye out for that one. It's also I found it seems like it's fairly tough to find these things in the Invincible books in high grade. So keep an eye out. All right, here's some books from another shop that I go to once in a while. The shop that has a huge selection of back issue dollar books. Stopped there on the way through. Found a Birds of Prey #1 from second or third series, first White Canary. Paid $1 for that. Found another G.I. Joe. Found a Punisher 104, which I believe is the last issue of the first ongoing Punisher series. I believe that's the last issue. This is a pretty cool one that you should definitely be on the lookout for. Quantum and Woody #3. I don't know anything about this series, but it got optioned for a movie, or is it a movie or TV show? I think TV show, right? This Quantum and Woody #3, introducing the goat. I guess the goat is a character in the series. I don't know. Whatever. I saw it online that people were saying, "Hey, get the goat issue." Like, what the hell's the goat? It's an actual goat, but it sells for right now it's selling for like $20-$30 or something. Damn, got it for $1. Why not? Here's a book that I've been wanting to find on the cheap. I didn't buy them. I didn't pre-order them when they were coming out because it was a regular cover. I felt like everybody knew about it, so they were pretty plentiful. It is starting to pick up a little bit, but when I say a little bit, it means like barely above cover price, like $5-7. Sensation Comics #4, Wonder Woman Adam Hughes cover. Pretty nice cover. It's a little dark. I wish this area would have been a little bit lighter, but I could see what was going on there. I just think the coloring of the printing was a little too dark. So I picked that up for $1. Figure why not, and did not have one. Here was a swing and a miss. Stars and Stripe #1. I thought this was the first appearance of this, but it's actually #0. So remember, I hate the #0 issues. I just don't understand why. So that's swing and a miss. This was a swing and a double, we'll say. Swinging a double. Todd, number 1. Todd the Ugliest Kid, number 1. This is the second print. I love this series. I was just kind of baffled as to why they stopped doing it, but it was a great series. To find that for $1, I don't really care if it doesn't ever do anything value-wise. It's an awesome read. So I'll pick those up for $1 every time. Found these. These have gone nuclear over the past week, as it's been confirmed that Jimmy Hudson is going to be on the X-Men Blue team, so he's in continuity. First appearance, Ultimate X number 1. This is first and second print. Was lucky enough to find those for $1. Vampirella Crossover Gallery. This is just like a pinup book, but it's got a J. Scott Campbell cover. It's a wraparound, so it's a pretty cool cover, but I flipped through it real quick, and I don't think he has any interior pinups. This was actually in their kind of premium boxes, I guess I'll say. New Avengers number 8. The first appearance of the Black Order, who is the organization that Corvus Glaive comes from, who'll be in the Avengers movie. So, speculation is that the Black Order will appear in the movie. If they do or not, who knows. But I paid $7 for that. Here's a book that's a head scratcher to me. New Mutants graphic novel. I believe this is the 6th print, and this is a smaller size than the original. The original's the magazine size. This one's like a treasury size, I guess. I don't know, almost like a prestige format. Paid $9 for that. This is an Adam Hughes cover. I think it's butt ugly, but for whatever reason, somebody brought it up online somewhere, and people are like, "Oh, Adam Hughes, that's great!" Like, really, look at this freaking cover. I mean, it's not good. But I paid $9 for it because people are buying it for $30. Ridiculous. This was a good buy, I think. Solar number 3, paid $9 for that. First Toyo Harada. Here's kind of a under the radar book. Tales of TMNT 67. I don't know. I think this might be the last issue, or might go up to like 70. But there's a couple Ninja Turtle series. When they get to the end, the print runs of them are really small. So obviously there's a huge following for Ninja Turtles. This one I paid $15 for this, but it's in real high grade, so I'm pretty happy to get that. Another one I was happy to find in like real high grade, Wonder Woman 90. First, it's not first Aries, is it? Might be the first Aries. Whatever. The bad guy in the Wonder Woman movie. $16 for this one, which I'm not real happy to pay $16 for a 90s Wonder Woman book, but these books have like really crappy paper, and every one I've ever found, they're not like hard to find, but they've always had a ton of spine ticks on them. So I was happy to get that for $16 in like near mint condition, definitely. All right. Next up. Okay, so I went out of state on a separate trip and went to Virginia and West Virginia. Stopped at 4 shops. Every shop had comics that were not, the price was not marked on them. Super frustrating. First shop I stopped at, Cinema Mall. And I go look at their new comics and kind of walk towards the back. They got a ton of boxes that are just like stacked on top of each other. And I went up front and asked the guy, they're like back in the back room. I said, "Can I go look at those?" And he said, "Yeah, that's fine." He went back, turned the lights on. I said, "Are they all priced?" And he said, "Yeah, they should be." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "Maybe like some of them aren't, but they're probably cover price." And all right, whatever. So I started going through a couple boxes of stuff that weren't bagged or boarded, and I started finding a couple things, and I said, went up front and I said, hey, how do you want to do this? Like, this stuff isn't priced, you know. Actually, I brought him back. I said, look at this stuff. I mean, it's not bagged and boarded. I said it's not priced. What if we just do flat rate, $2 each? I'm not trying to rip the dude off, but at the same time, it's like I'm not gonna pull out all of your good books for you, and then have you look them up and say, oh, these are all $15 each, and then say, well, I don't want them, and then you just take them and put them in a bag and board and put the price on it. So I do all the work for you. That's not how it's gonna work. So he said, I can't do that. So I made a little stack, like 10 books, and I took them up and I said, price these out for me, and kind of wandered around. I wasn't going to dig much more because if he was going to have like double eBay prices, I wasn't going to do it. So at any rate, some of the prices he came back with were good. He was grading them how he felt, and he was a pretty strict grader, which I appreciated. I think he was going on like comicbookrealm.com and looking them up, which to me, this day and age is as good as going on Overstreet. I mean, it's not a good price tool. But if you go on eBay, the grades are all over the place in terms of sales, so you don't know what you're getting. So at any rate, I'm kind of guessing on the prices of these because they're all over the place. Alpha Flight #1, I think I paid about $2. Most of these are going to be about $2 is my guess. It's a really nice copy. It was not bagged and boarded. Most of these were not. New Mutants #14 newsstand, First Magic, $2. I think New Mutants 86. I think this was like $1 or something. I thought this book was in better condition when I bought it, but as I brought it home and looked at it, it was not. New Mutants Annual #2, first U.S. Psylocke, paid $10. You can kind of see here it's got some dings in it, but the color really popped on it, so thought it was better than it was. Quantum and Woody #0. I think I paid like $1 for that. That came out a couple months after #1. Again, like why they released 0 issues, I don't know. Amazing Spider-Man #4, First Silk, first print. I mean, he said $4 on it, I think. So, like I said, I'm not sure where he was looking prices up at, but I'll take it. I think this was like $3 or $4. Hulk $4.49. First Thunderbolts. This one I kind of put back on my radar recently because I feel like you can get them at good prices, and I think there's a lot of potential for Thunderbolts to really heat up or to do a TV show, whatever it be. There's been some rumors. I mean, it's not like people don't know that it's not a valuable book. It's not hard to find. If you go on eBay, there's plenty of them. But if I can get them for like $5, I'm definitely picking them up. I was really happy to get these because this is another one that I put back on my radar. They are doing a Big Hero 6 #2 movie, and Sunfire is going to be in it. So, that Uncanny X-Men book that is his first appearance, I think it's in the 60s, that may heat up. I really like this series to heat up. Sunfire, Big Hero 1 through 3. And they also had first appearance. I think all these were like $2-3 each. So, I was happy to get those. All those were, again, not bagged and boarded. Scalped, #43. First, I forget what the dude's name is, Boss Hog or something, who's kind of the inspiration for the Southern Bastards comic book from Image. I really love that series. Very, very underrated series. I don't think I've ever owned one of these, so I was happy to get that, and it was 50 cents. Gargoyles #11. I don't know anything about this book except I saw somebody online saying it was kind of hard to find, and then I looked it up, and it does sell. This thing's beat to hell, though. Again, I paid like 50 cents for it. So happy to find this one, which I have never found in the wild. Stormwatch #4. Paid like $2 for that one, I think. And then, so as I'm going through the boxes, they have all the Marvel superheroes, the summer special and the fall special and the spring. I'm like, there's got to be a winter special in here somewhere. It took me like 3 boxes, but I did find one for Squirrel Girl. It's kind of beat. It was not bagged and boarded. You know, it's these square bounds are tough, even if they are taken care of. I paid $10 for it. Whatever. And then this was probably the biggest come up. I think this was like $2. Elephant Man number 18. This one was bagged and boarded. If you don't know about this one, this is the cover that's usually shown when people put it in bag and board. But that's not the important part. The important part is the back cover with the J. Scott Campbell. This is the sketch variant. Now there is one that has a colored version, and I believe that one is the actual variant cover, and it's on the front of the book. May not be, I don't know. A lot of these Elephant Man books, they have like 2 stories in them, and they're like flip books, or there's like a 4-page story in the back of them. So found that for $2. That was awesome. It's super high grade. All right, found online Catwoman 74 for like $20. I don't know why they were listing it for that much. Well, that was kind of inserted randomly, but here's some more for my road trip. Another store, I asked the guy, I said, how much are your back issues here? And they were having a sale, actually, and like everything, well, he said, you know, the first 2 shelves are 50 cents. The stuff on the floor is not for sale, or it needs priced. And you never tell anybody that you have stuff that is not for sale. First of all, when I walk in, the guy's sitting there playing video games, and I look around. The place is a freaking mess. Boxes everywhere. Tons. I mean, probably 30 boxes per row. 4 rows. Stacked 3 high. So you have all this inventory that you're not selling because you haven't gone through it. And yet you're going to sit there and turn somebody's money away because you're too lazy to do it, or whatever it be. I swear, like, comic book shop owners are probably one of the worst businessmen out there. At any rate, I found Infinity number 8. This was like on the floor where he said this stuff was. I didn't realize it until afterwards. I started going through stuff on the floor, and I pulled this out, and I'm sorry, New Avengers number 8, if I said Infinity. And then I finally went up and asked him before I dug too much more, and that's when he said that. So I stopped going through the stuff on the floor, but I did find that, and I just took it up, and it wasn't bagged and boarded, and 50 cents, whatever. Found this Happy number 1, which has been optioned. This book isn't really doing a whole lot, but I'll pay 50 cents for it. Here's a cool one that I have never found in the wild again. Prophet number 21, part of the. So that's the first issue of the reboot that they did. It's pretty tough to find. There's a Rob Liefeld variant if for whatever reason you want to own his artwork. This one, Ultimate X number 1, the variant, the Art Adams variant. It again was where he told me the stuff was 50 cents, and he kept like. He went through the pile, and he's, looking at the stuff, and okay. And he's like, I should probably look that one up. And I wasn't going to say anything. Whatever, dude. Look it up if you want. You were up here playing video games, and I'm doing all the work. So, got 50 cents. Also got this one for 50 cents. Because the dude, he's like, he goes, oh, cool, Ghost in the Shell. I'm like, yeah. And it was 50 cents. And this thing is mint condition. I mean, it's sharp. These books have like a cardstock cover. I mean, it was not bagged and boarded. It is in great shape. Definitely near mint. If you haven't seen what these sell for, the movie is already out, so the prices are going to drop. But probably, easily a $50 book. Oh, cool. Ghost in the Shell. Zatanna number 4. This is a Bolin variant cover. Paid $6 for that. It was probably a 50-cent book again, but I'll give them a couple. And then this one was in like a marked box. The Boys #1, paid 15 for that. Super nice copy, near mint copy, easy. So that was from, those were from that shop that was a train wreck. I mean, I don't mind digging for books, but don't have your stuff like not priced, or at least have inconsistent pricing. If everything's $1, it's $1. You know, I can't bring something up and then you're gonna say, well, I'm gonna look this one up. Again, same thing with this. Let's see if I can get this in the camera here. This was another store I went to. I found this like in a tucked away box. None of the stuff was marked. They did have some stuff in like, they did have some dollar boxes, so I assume I got charged $1 for this. It was kind of inconsequential when it all came down to it, but, and there's another pet peeve I have. So Preacher 42, first Odin Quincannon, I believe he died in the show, didn't he? Like, he's not gonna be on season 2, but I've never found one in the wild. Never found one at a decent price, I guess, at least. Found a set of Bloodstone 1 through 4, as I was saying. Like, always check the sets. This ended up being like $4.80 for 1 through 4. Easily above that just for #1. So the other pet peeve I have, there's 2 other pet peeves I have. One, stores that don't tape the flap down on the bag, if they bag and board them, and they're just all loose and you can't flip through the books. Really annoying. You don't want me to buy your stuff, obviously. #2, when they have books behind the counter. In this store, I said, can I come back there and look at those? And he said, no, just stand out there. I'll lift them all up for you. Like, why? You're just making things like harder than they need to be. So I started going through a couple boxes, didn't find anything, and finally I got a couple books that made it worth it. Old Man Logan #2, the 1 in 25 variant. This is just a book that's jumped up strictly because it's a 181 homage, as far as I know. It goes for about between 30 and 50, depending. This book I was really happy to find because I actually put this on my radar to pick up. Dollface #1. This is the Baltimore Retailer Summit variant. This is the true first released comic of Dollface. Now there's probably like 15 Dollface #1s if you include all the regular variants and the store variants and this and that, but this one was truly released in the calendar before any of the other ones. I got this for $30. I think it's, it's a pretty low print run. I don't know if it's like 250 or 500 or something like that. I don't know if they actually said, but as far as I know, this is the second Dan Mendoza series, only to be outdone by Zombie Tramp, which we've seen what that's done. And then finally, I picked this up like at the exact right time. Harbinger #1, paid $50 for it. It does have the coupon. It's really high grade. It's only like a little staple issue on the back that keeps it from being at the top. But really happy to pick that one up, especially for that price. I mean, that's easily a $50 book any day of the week. Oh, and the reason why I said good timing is they announced like some writers for it, whatever that means, for a movie. Marvel Age 41, the Stan Lee cover. I think I've shown this a couple times. I paid $5 for it. This is a cool cover. It's tough to find. These Marvel Age books are really hard to find in high grade, especially a white cover. And I've looked at, like, there's a bunch of Marvel Age books I've looked at, no matter where. They all seem to get like a little bit of moisture spots on them, like a little bit of touch of mold, because people just never cared for these. These are not, canonical books. These are just little preview books, and previews have only been relevant in the past 5 years, and only to a niche collector. So cool to pick that one up. I don't think there's anything in the book that's especially significant, but it's a cool photo cover. Here's one that you could probably still find for cheap. Aquaman 19, first King Nearest, who is going to be played by Dolph Lundgren in the Aquaman movie. How is this not a $1,000 book already? You're telling me Dolph Lundgren does not command the comic book market to spike significantly? I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. You have Sylvester Stallone, and then somebody says, well, maybe Darkhawk, and that book goes through the roof. Well, when I say through the roof, it's a $10 book, but you know, it's not even a true rumor from what we understand. Why not Dolph Lundgren? Give it to me. All right, here's kind of another real hard to find book that I found online. Actually, paid about $10 for it. Darkhawk #5. Speaking of Darkhawk, this is the J.C. Penney second print variant. Really tough to find in high grade. You can tell it's the second print on the cover because the price box is different, and I believe the logo box is different too. I think first print has the black Captain America face in there, if I'm not mistaken. So like a book like that, great book to have. First when I bought it, I was like, well, maybe I'll sell this thing. You know, I don't really care for it, but it's one of those books like, you know, it's in the same vein as this, although this is a little bit harder to find, but it's still like, these just are not found everywhere, and people don't know what they have half the time. Last book I got, just because I kind of like the book. It's not real easy to find. This is Witchblade #100. There's like 3 or 4 variants of the same artwork, but for instance, this one is the gold variant. Fantastic Realm, I think it was the comic shop that put their name on it and, you know, ordered them. There's a blue variant. There's a sketch variant. From what I've seen, the gold one commands the most, and I think this one was limited to $750. Like the other ones, I think there's more limited ones, but this might only be $250. I can't recall off the top of my head. But at any rate, paid $25 for it. You know, J. Scott Campbell cover, in case you couldn't figure that out. Yeah, so that's what I got. Pretty sure I've shown everything now. Like I said, just like a crazy haul. Really satisfied. And I don't know what to say. I mean, you know, I'm still, like I said, not against digging in the boxes. I find a lot of good stuff there, but it's also cool to have a few expendable dollars to buy some high-end stuff every once in a while. And give back to those dealers that have made me a few dollars here and there. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Keep trolling those dollar boxes.